Good evening. My name is Nicole, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the Microsoft ConnectWise Cloud Console webinar. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. If you should need operator assistance at any time, please press *0. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. You may submit your questions at any time throughout the conference via the Q&A feature located in WebEx. Thank you. I would now like to hand the webinar over to Jeremy Singh. Please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeremy Singh from Tech Data. Thank you for attending our webinar here today. We'll be going over our new Cloud Console offering. And to do that, we have two speakers. We have Melissa Ruiz, our Microsoft CSP Business Development Rep, and Topher Barrow, a Product Manager at ConnectWise. Before we get started, I just want to go over some housekeeping notes. If there's any questions you guys might have during the webinar, feel free to enter those in the Q&A section. You'll see that in the top right. You'll see a box. You can enter those questions at any time, but we'll only get to those questions at the end of the presentation. We are doing a random drawing today for Microsoft Band 2, where one lucky attendee will be winning that prize. We'll conduct a drawing after the webinar is done and contact the winner after the webinar is done. So without further ado, I'll pass it off to Melissa.
Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa with Tech Data, as Jeremy said, and welcome to our overview with Tech Data's CSP program. And Topher will be speaking a little bit more about the Cloud Console here shortly, but let's just get right into it. So today what you're going to learn is why Tech Data is your preferred cloud partner of choice, some enablement tools that we offer, and how we make our onboarding really easy for you as a partner regarding our CSP program. So why Tech Data? Our cloud marketplace is really made up of 4 key areas, as you see here, and there are areas to drive enablement. So we've got our Cloud Academy, Cloud Portfolio, our Cloud team here at Tech Data, and our Cloud Solution Store, which we name Stream 1. So these are really combined, and they're meant to drive cloud mastery within your business. And what do we mean when we say cloud mastery? What we mean is we want to provide you with the tools and resources needed to create differentiation and value for your company so that you can increase your footprint with your existing customers, attract new customers, while increasing your profitability. So Cloud Academy has our vendor-specific training and cloud business strategy training modules. I definitely recommend to take a peek here through our website. You can locate this on Tech Data's website, so techdata.com, and it's under our Services tab. If you click on the Tech Data Cloud and Education tab, it's got a tremendous amount of collection of information, not only just for Office 365, but our overall cloud in general. So Cloud Portfolio. This is, if you take a look at the slide, a mixture of our software as a service, platform as a service, and our infrastructure product offerings, such as Microsoft and ConnectWise. And it includes over 30 industry-proven cloud providers. So we've got quite a collection here, and this is located on our Stream 1 store as well. We're happy to send you a copy as well. I know a lot of partners like to have that, so we definitely encourage you just to ask any questions if you need. Our cloud team here at Tech Data, so we are regionalized here, and we would like to provide you with specialized support from onboarding to business development. And additionally, we have staff that focus on specific high-value vendor partners, such as Microsoft and ConnectWise and RingCentral. So when you reach out to us, we can get you set up with the right folks within your region, and there are specialists regarding things like ConnectWise. So our Cloud Solution Store, like I said earlier, we call it Stream 1. And it gives you a central location to be able to view and manage your cloud business overall. And this is where you're going to be able to view what your customers are using. You can view and print quotes for different products, manage invoices and orders. You can add and remove seats for CSP licenses. And to complement our ConnectWise partners, we've integrated this component into ConnectWise's Cloud Console. And Topher is going to speak just a little bit about what we're looking forward to here with the integration with Cloud Console and our Cloud Solution Store, Stream 1.
All right, thank you so much, Melissa. ConnectWise is actually located here in Tampa, Florida, which is just a stone's throw away from Tech Data. And what that allows us to do is really do some incredible integration. And right now what we're working on with version 2, rather than just have the solution store, Stream 1, just embedded into Cloud Console, what we're working on is really innovating a single sign-on. So what that will allow us to do is basically on any given company or user inside of ConnectWise, what we're able to do is just click on a Buy Now option, and no matter where we are within the product, we're able to then just leap directly into that tenant or user inside of the solution store, which just makes provisioning and purchasing for that customer that much easier. So it's really going to innovate and make using the services that much easier.
Great. We're really excited about that. Thank you so much, Topher. And I know he's going to go into a deeper level there later on as we finish up here. So thank you so much. So going into the Tech Data's CSP Cloud offering, some of you may be familiar with the Cloud Solution Provider Program already, but for those of you who don't, this is the monthly billing option for selling Office 365. And this gives you the best option for increased margin. It allows the most room for flexibility with regards to increasing or decreasing the licenses, so your seat count, as well as changing the type of licenses that you offer your customers. So that really makes it easy for you as the partner to be able to have those upsell opportunities and really be able to provide your customers exactly what they need when they need it. So with the CSP program, you also own the billing relationship with your customers, and you truly are the owner of that, and so that you can bill your customers based on how you see fit for your business, including being able to build the Office 365 offerings directly right into your managed service offerings so that you're able to offer a complete solution. With regards to support in our CSP program, Microsoft does require the partner to offer continuous support to their customers, and that leads me right into how that we can help you provide that here at Tech Data. So our profitable standard and select offerings, as you see here at the top, they're designed to help you really fully support your customers. So our standard offering includes partner support by the way of phone, chat, email, and a ticketing dashboard. And we can serve as a backup support when you need it. So we also offer direct partner support. And what I mean by that is we can offer you support for basic product installation or Microsoft portal questions as well. Our select offering includes everything that I just mentioned, but then it also includes support that you can offer directly to your end customer. So 24/7, 365 days a year, including escalations to Microsoft. And that's just for a few pennies more in most cases. And that can really drive your profitability by allowing you and your engineers to spend more time on your managed services and the projects. And then lastly, you see here our Elite pricing. So that's our third CSP offering, known as Elite. You do have to qualify for that, and while it may be where you find the most margin, approximately maybe 14% when stacking it against our direct pricing model through Microsoft, Elite pricing doesn't include any support. So this is really for folks who feel that they are equipped with the tools and services needed to fully support their customers 24/7 on their own. So again, this is for eligible partners, and for more questions or details regarding all of our CSP offerings, be sure to reach out to us. I am going to include our contact information at the end so that you can be able to take that with you and reach out to us. So at Tech Data, billing is really simplified, and so these are some of the Tech Data CSP differentiators. One of them is that we're really proud of is the Tech Data billing. So what you'll receive is one invoice per end user that includes all of the services that they're consuming each month. We also have a program called CSP Now, which is a white glove service at no cost to the partner, and we've put this together to help the partners transition your existing Office 365 business, such as your advisor seats or other vendors that you're currently using, so that you can move that into that more profitable CSP model. And we really help you jumpstart your journey into the CSP by giving you that white glove service at no charge. Definitely recommend to reach out to us, and we'll give you more information regarding that. We also offer tools to help you migrate your net new opportunities too. So we've got Migrate Your Way that you see here, and this is really going to help you to land those new opportunities in a more efficient manner, reducing your deployment time and increasing your profitability. Currently, we are offering free BitTitan migration licenses with each CSP seat that you purchase, which is a tremendous value, so definitely reach out to us for more details regarding that. And this slide just really kind of highlights what we talked about before with our standard and select offerings and then our elite. You can kind of see what sort of margin, minimum margin that you can receive there. So we really have scalable options to meet your business needs. And then this just really summarizes everything that we just went over in full and how Tech Data can really help you gain that cloud mastery to ultimately develop and close those cloud opportunities that you have. So some of the tools and resources that I was talking about earlier that create differentiation include our enablement portfolio. Lead generation, a lot of you probably have heard a lot of the Microsoft offers out or opportunities out there like ready-to-go marketing campaigns, Microsoft Community Connections, Pinpoint Perfection powered by Nurture Marketing, and then one that we're really proud of, Reseller Connect. This is being able to get you lead generation at the end user level. And then assessment and migration tools, they help you do more in less time. So you see Rapid Start CRM, help you jumpstart your CRM, dynamic CRM online business in a faster way, more out of the box ready. And BitTitan and Skykick, so we have those migration tools. And they really help you save a lot of time and cost for both you and your end users. And then lastly, our customer development tools, or really I like to say customer management tools. They really help you track and manage your business more efficiently, such as ConnectWise and our Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So I showed you that map earlier, which is where we're here at Tech Data. We're very regionalized, and if you're not a Tech Data account, if you don't already have an account in place already, we can definitely get you set up very quickly with just a few easy steps. If you are, fantastic, and you're not authorized for the CSP program yet, our onboarding is very simple, and here it's shown on the next slide. This is sort of like a preview of our email that we send out to our partners, and it's just as simple as sending us the Cloud Rider Agreement, and that's just what authorizes you for the program so that you're able to go into this Cloud Solution Store, Stream 1, and purchase those CSP opportunities that you have. So please do reach out to us, and we will get you set up to purchase those opportunities that you have in no time. So this slide, definitely I'm going to pause here just for a moment and make sure that you have the opportunity to jot this information down. I recommend either emailing us at microsoftcloud@techdata.com, or you can reach us by phone at 1-800-237-8931, and our cloud extension to our team is 82031. So we'll make sure that we get you in touch with the right folks within your region. And regarding the CSP program, that's really all I have, but Topher, as mentioned earlier, is going to talk more deeply regarding the Cloud Console and how that really can tie in with our CSP opportunities. So I'll hand it over to you at this point, Topher, and everybody else, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you so much, Melissa. And what a time to live in right now. I'm on my cell phone doing this in presentation now, and it's pretty incredible, but at the same time I feel so far behind the times because I don't even have Twitter or Instagram or pretty much any social media, so I need to get on that. So I wouldn't even be able to tweet you if I wanted to. But happy to be here today, everyone. I'll go ahead and progress that slide. I get to do that from my side now. And my name is Topher. I work with ConnectWise. I've been with the company for about 6 years now. And what's really cool about my job, which now is a product manager, before that, I was basically a traveling consultant for hundreds of people at a time. In fact, I've actually, in the attendee list, I see a lot of familiar names in there, and I've, come and talked to you guys at user groups or IT Nation or any of our other social events. And what I find now is, as the product manager for Cloud Console, which we're going to dive into here in a minute, is Oh, apparently someone has asked me to speak up. So again, I'm on my, is this better? Is this better at all? Okay, perfect. So I get to take the information that I've learned over the last 5 years and basically use that to improve this Cloud Console product. So, you know, talking to thousands of partners in a given quarter gives you a lot of insight into the industry and to the woes that every business goes through. And so several years ago, one of the things that we were hearing was this cloud, this CSP program is actually going to happen. You know, it's gaining traction. And so one of the things that we found was companies had no idea how to actually, you know, work with this and turn it into a business practice within their organization. And so that's whenever we started working with tons of partners here at ConnectWise. We started figuring out all of the different ins and outs and all the different intricacies on how cloud services work. And now we've put them into this central console, as you can see, called Cloud Console. And really, one of the things that we're finding is that in order to really be successful with cloud services these days is you have to expand further than just being that reseller, okay? And so I feel like a lot of people, whenever they're, you know, in the beginning stages of the cloud services, they're just getting their feet wet. That's what they look to. They look to, all right, well, let's just get our first customer on cloud services. And, you know, we saw those, the ROIs for our investment on, you know, the different levels. But really, just taking it a step further, the goal is to add as many value-added services as humanly possible, and that's what's going to distinguish you as a value-added reseller or a managed service provider from the competitors in your area, and really internationally, because at this point, with cloud, a customer could be in Boston and be managed by someone in San Francisco if they wanted to. So really being able to distinguish yourself and add those added benefits onto the cloud services that you're selling is what's really going to allow you to be successful. And along with that, being able to add those resources onto your given services is going to take time, okay? And so really with Cloud Console, you're going to be able to free up a lot of that admin or managerial or billing time that is normally spent, you know, managing cloud services, and you're going to be able to spend that and flip it on the other side and use that to add additional services and value to your products. And so let's just go ahead and jump in really quick. Oh, there we go. And so in the beginning, what we saw and what everyone was scared of was, man, this cloud thing, everybody's just going to go up to the cloud. There's going to be no more physical servers on site. You know, I'm no longer going to be able to kick stuff and break it and then fix it. And they're like, everything's going to go to the cloud, everything. And so what we have found, and you guys have probably seen the same thing because this little graphic is actually a couple of years old, is this is your customer, okay? You have, you know, a front desk, and they have a receptionist, and they have a finance department and accounting and a marketing, and they've got a small server room, and they've got conference rooms in which they need to have, you know, phones and digital access and all these different aspects. Well, what we're finding is instead of an entire business getting pushed up to the cloud, it's all going to be based on process. So right now we're seeing where, let's say, accounting packages are now migrating to the cloud. You're seeing Exchange and Office and SharePoint all going to the cloud. There's no reason to have this on site anymore rather than an entire business server getting migrated up right now. I mean, one of the things that I always tell people is ConnectWise even has a cloud now. So in the beginning where it was this big, robust requirement to get started with ConnectWise, it no longer is. We make it easy for you, and it's a lot less of a headache by having everything on the cloud. Much more than that, it's a less financial burden. So we're seeing it happen in the different business areas and the different applications that your customers use. And so in the beginning, this seems pretty simple. I've got one customer, you know, they have their Exchange, they've got their business server, they've got their, I keep pushing right and it doesn't progress, but I forget I have to use the arrows. And they have their accounting package, they have their business server, their business process, they have Outlook, they've got OneNote, SharePoint, all these different things. If I have one customer and they push, their 5 business processes up to the cloud, it can be somewhat easy to manage, reconcile, bill, support. It's fairly simple. But what we're finding is that if you have that one customer turns into 20 customers, and then those 20 customers have 5 different applications on the cloud, then it becomes a lot more of a headache. And so what we see is people are pulling their hair out trying to keep all of this stuff organized. And the thing is Tech Data, they've done an excellent job on their side of kind of, streamlining everything for you. But once they give you that license, it's then, like they said, it's your job to reconcile the invoices that they're sending you, send accurate detail to your customer, and then support that, more importantly, and continue, I guess at this point, vendor relations between your customer and Tech Data. So it's a lot to manage, and so that's why we created Cloud Console. It gives a central screen or software that really brings it all together for you. And one of the things that you'll hear me say several times is it gives you the ability to manage, monitor, and bill all of the different aspects of cloud services, okay? And so that's what we're finding is happening. And then a lot of people, they say, well, is cloud services really going to, if it's the wave of the future, well, what's going to happen to help desk services? Well, the thing about cloud services, it is going to happen, but it's not going to take over the entire business model that you have in place right now. You're still going to have help desk services. You're still going to have the NOC services. You're still going to have the cloud services and the break fix. What's going to happen going forward is you're just going to have a hybrid model. All of these different areas are still going to be a source of revenue, and your customers may be, involved with several of them. They have some services on the cloud, but guess what? They don't want to let go of everything, so they still have those on-premise devices, those on-premise servers that they don't trust the cloud just yet. And so you're going to see them go with some cloud services and then some help desk or some managed services. Managed services is always that weird word because they're like, well, managed services, I'm not an MSP, but I do manage services. And so by kind of distinguishing these out and having a hybrid model, you're able to then think of it in a, well, I'm still going to be fixing these devices. I'm still going to be, consulting on them and doing break fix work whenever they need it, but some of my revenue on that monthly recurring agreement is actually going to come from cloud services. And so one of the things that, I'm about to walk through here is, for those of you guys that are new to cloud services or actually new to any practice area that I just covered, there's this buyer's journey as far as how you're supposed to expand that specific area of your business. Now, many of you guys out there, you already have your help desk practice area in place, and your managed services is probably booming, and you have a small development area in which you market, to those specific customers. But cloud services is fairly new. And so whenever we're looking at what ConnectWise and Cloud Console is going to do for you, let's look at how it's going to allow you to expand your entire cloud services practice area. And again, there with the arrow. And so there are really 6 different areas that you're going to need to focus on whenever we're looking at kind of distributing out and expanding the cloud services. It all starts off with awareness, okay? And so right now, what I would suggest doing is whenever you're talking with your customers, if cloud services is something that you could be interested in selling to them or they might be interested in purchasing from you, one of the biggest things that I kind of harp on is this trusted advisor kind of model. Is you need to, at this point, if you want to expand your cloud services, if that's the way you want to go, then you really need to learn as much about the industry that your customers exist in that you can. You really need to understand how their business model works, what's good, what's bad, you know, what the superstars are doing in that area that make them so good at what they do, because whenever it comes down to it and you're ready to create that brand awareness, and I'm just going to go ahead and push this forward, no matter what method you use, the whole goal is to, you know, discuss with the customer exactly what their needs are. Discuss with them what their needs should be and let them know that, hey, you know, running the reporting and, you know, all of my industry research leads me to believe that you should be using these type of services because it's going to make you X amount more effective and you're going to be able to access this information from anywhere. You don't even necessarily need to throw out cloud services yet. The thing is you paint this picture of exactly what they need, and then whenever they say, oh my God, that sounds incredible, I want that, whatever that is, I don't care what it is, take my money now and sign me up. You then tell them, all right, well, we're going to get you on the standard business license for Office 365. We're going to set you up with some SharePoint. We're going to get you a SQL server. Azure is coming into play, and you just sell them on the things that are supposed to help them, and you then bring that to their attention. We can suffice all of these demands with cloud services. And so within ConnectWise, we have a product called Campaign Director, in which we're able to then market out to that. I don't want to spend so much time on the products themselves. I'd rather give you guys some insight into expanding your business model. And then secondly, once you have that particular individual interested, one of the biggest things that I like to say, again, is with this knowledge, the knowledge that you can possess and share with your customers is really going to distinguish you and put you high above everyone else in your area. And so within that, whenever it comes down to it, whenever you have that next QBR, you need to evaluate what that customer is doing and what, you know, downfalls they're making by not using the technology in an efficient way. Oh my God, remember we had that talk and we said you wanted to be, you know, using it in this fashion because it gave you these added benefits and you're able to, you know, upload a document in one area and everyone in the company is able to then access it via a simple URL. Why aren't you doing that? This is what's really going to be saving you so much time, and it's going to push you to the next level. But you need to be, you know, reviewing them and evaluating them. And in this scenario, this evaluation, this just expands on the sales process, being able to evaluate and know whether they're supposed to be at a higher level. Do they need additional services? Are they using those services effectively? If not, it should be okay with you to discuss with them, should they add, remove, change any of the products that they have at any point in time. And so within ConnectWise, if you've had it before, we've got an excellent sales module in there along with Quozel, who can send out quotes and proposals. Oh. All right, down to the nitty-gritty with this purchasing, okay? And this is what, you know, is really going to set Tech Data apart from any other distributor in the future is with that one-touch purchasing and provisioning. Like we said before, Cloud Console allows you to manage, monitor, and bill. At the click of a few buttons right now, you notice that, I don't know, let's say the storage is about to become exceeded, or a customer needs a new member, or you're about to install an entirely new setup for a customer. We need to purchase the entire business suite for them. Well, as soon as you have that company in ConnectWise, it's going to be just a click to the Buy Now option, and that will push you directly into Tech Data so that you can begin purchasing those licenses, provisioning them, not to mention if there is a migration that needs to be done, they do have BitTitan that allows you to completely, you know, automate this, and it's such a nice streamlined process that from one screen, you're at that company, you click the buy, you're right there in Tech Data, you make the purchases, you provision them, and now they're all right there in Cloud Console for you to then manage, you know, continue any additional setup that you might need, you know, configure your billing so that you can do it from one screen going forward. And that's really what I can't wait to see with Tech Data, and they're doing, excellent things as far as that integration goes. Delivery, like I just said, BitTitan along with ConnectWise itself allows you to then onboard customers, because it's more than just, hey, here's the tools. Like I said, those value-added services and being able to train them on the services that you're selling them. You should be that trusted advisor, and if they're doing something wrong, you should be proactive about that. You should teach them, and I think Tech Data, along with Microsoft, I think they help out with this on, how to effectively kind of implement a customer and get them on the right path with the technology that you're selling them. And this is really what's going to set the course for the next several years of a relationship with a customer and really make you that much more sticky and a necessity whenever it comes down to renewal time, okay? So the delivery on here, along with the BitTitan tool, like I said, being able to just automate that migration, that in itself, Melissa hit on it, but she didn't go into how much of a time saver, those automated tools allow you to save. It is a very, very big investment in time saving whenever it comes down to it. Support, ConnectWise, Cloud Console, we do have remote control. We have a ton of automated monitoring right inside of the Cloud Console product. So what you're able to do is configure Cloud Console to not only keep an eye out for bugs and issues and outages on the cloud, you're able to set up proactive monitoring for thresholds being met. So like I said earlier, if their storage or, RAM or SharePoint or OneDrive is starting to become too full for your liking or for your comfort, Cloud Console has the ability to proactively create you a sales lead, aka an opportunity inside of ConnectWise, proactively monitor those details and get the sales team involved to say, hey, we see that you guys are using this up a lot quicker than we anticipated. We should just go ahead and take you guys up to the next tier. If it's not even an interest in selling it to them, it could be at least a heads up. Hey, you're going to breach. If you don't slow it down or start deleting a few items, you're going to, breach the entire capacity, and you're no longer going to get the functionality that you so desire. So, by having all that inside of ConnectWise and having Cloud Console proactively monitor these things, it is just giving you more time to go back and create that brand awareness, learning the industry, figuring out how to make your customers more successful. Because, with the technology these days, the cloud services, anyone could really allow you to manage from anywhere. And if that's the case, your competition just got, bumped up a significant amount. You really want to do everything that you can to become the trusted advisor so that you don't get kind of eaten out by someone with a cheaper price. And then last but not least, we have the billing. I don't care if you didn't hear anything I said over the last 5 steps. If you don't send an accurate bill, they don't care if you're the trusted advisor, if you, gave them an excellent onboarding, if you are there, proactively monitoring their support. I guarantee if you send them a bad bill, they immediately go off the charts. They immediately get in the proactive attack mode, okay? And so one of the biggest enhancements that Cloud Console has over, your day-to-day is the ability to automate the billing amount on your recurring agreements. If you have increases or decreases in seat counts, if you have license changes, if they upgrade or downgrade, even if they do it in the middle of the month, there is prorating built into the integration with Cloud Console, the vendors, Microsoft, and ConnectWise. So at the end of the month, whenever you get that, whenever you get that invoice, and historically it was, hey, let me go out here, let me manually update these details inside of whatever billing software I have, if it's directly into QuickBooks Online or Dynamics TP, whatever it may be. it was a manual process. Now, with Cloud Console and ConnectWise, it's a one-click invoice creation method. So it's a very, very big time saver and a very big headache saver. Not to mention, it's going to save you a lot of errors as well if you guys have seen that before, accidentally fat fingering something. So it's going to keep accurate price, keep accurate cost, keep accurate counts, even if changes are made throughout the middle of the month. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this. Right now, it's just Office 365. I'm currently speccing out version 3 for Cloud Console, in which we're now going to integrate with Azure. So any of those updates inside of Azure, you're adding additional storage, you're upgrading, downgrading processors and RAM, or you're deploying SQL servers. All of this is going to be automated inside of Cloud Console so that you can then seamlessly sync those monthly recurring agreements and invoices with whatever we're getting directly from Microsoft. So it's definitely on the up and up whenever it comes to pushing the boundaries. So like I said, we're able to manage, monitor, and bill. And this is something that we didn't get into the other day, Melissa and Ron. But if I wanted to play, okay, we hid the video. All right, just wanted to make sure. But if you guys did want more information, we have this free cloud ebook out there it's pretty impressive what they did. And what they did was they made some really quirky videos to help get the message across over how you want to begin expanding your cloud services platform. Because if you create a scalable process and you're doing what you can to be the advocate for your customer, you can't fail. Okay. Now, granted, like I said, some of that takes time, and then with Cloud Console, you're able to open up a lot more of that free time whenever it comes down to it. So if you want that, just go off to connectwise.com/cloud ebook, and they'll send that directly to you. So that's all I got.
All right, thanks, Topher. Thanks, Melissa. We'll go ahead and move to the Q&A section of the webinar. So remember, if there's any questions, feel free to use the Q&A box to the right. It looks like we do have a few questions so far, but feel free to keep dropping those in as we go along. So the first question I think is for you, Topher. What is the pricing for Cloud Console?
So right now, our market, as probably many of you guys on the line are the small to mid-size. So what we've done is we've created a tiered structure. And so you come in, at an introductory rate of $75, and that gives you X number of seats. And so if you want to get your feet wet, come in. We do have a 30-day free trial in which you can test it out. You have unlimited seat count during that 30 days. But after that 30-day mark, you'll basically lose the advantages. But the introductory rate, the introductory level is just $75 per month, and it goes up from there depending upon the number of seats that you are managing.
Okay, great. Any other questions, guys? Just use the chat box on the right there. Sorry, the Q&A box.
One thing, can I jump in, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. One thing that I didn't get to go into, and I didn't really want to, was the console itself. But even if you're just thinking about, using Cloud Console, definitely try the 30 days, because what you'll see is once you get in there and you'll see how you can, go from, you click on a module, open up Cloud Console, and right there you have access to all of your tenants' information. So if you've got 10 password resets that need to take place, you can literally check off 10 options, do a password reset, and it takes you less than 30 seconds to accomplish this, rather than logging into one tenant, logging out, logging into a completely different tenant. And it really does save you a ton of time simply managing, not to mention the, the billing and the monitoring aspect.
Awesome. We have another one. When will this start being available? I'm assuming they mean the console itself.
This is actually live right now. In fact, I can go ahead and throw up some numbers. We have over 900,000 seats of Office 365 being managed right now with Cloud Console. So if you went out to that ebook site, you know, obviously we're going to get your lead information, but I guarantee if you went out there, someone would call you and give you, you know, specific information on what you would use Cloud Console for and give you that 30-day free trial. So it's already available, and if anyone on the line is already using it, you know, I'd love to get your feedback. You can email me. Just go to dyno, D-Y-N-O, @connectwise.com. You know, product managers like to hear the good and the bad.
So someone asked, does the product handle prorating?
Yeah, they must have. Yeah, that it does handle prorating. And what we have found, because my Dyno team, we are a very agile managed team. And so what we find is that we are so quick to add enhancements. It's that the main product, ConnectWise, can barely keep up. And so we actually had prorating before ConnectWise had prorating, which was actually pretty awesome on our side. And so whenever you add the product, depending upon right now, the purchase date, so if I purchased it right now, the 21st, 15 licenses, it will prorate from the 21st to the end of the month and then begin normal billing going forward. So it's an excellent tool. Your customers will be happy, and your customers will be able to see on their invoice exactly which seats they are paying for whenever it comes down to it, which I know is a big must for some individuals. Oh my God, they want to know who they're getting paid for because so-and-so got fired last month and they want to make sure he's not on the invoice again. Now, I do see a follow-up question there. It says, is this billed in advance or after the month has ended? You know, we built the software to bill at the beginning of the month. So we bill in advance. And so if we bill in advance, we've already created an invoice for April. The next 8 days or so, 9 days, would then be put onto the May bill. But either way, you would have the ability to have the proration if you build after the fact.
Okay. All righty. I know you kind of touched on this, but someone asked, is there a security build around the console?
Oh, there absolutely is. So within the console, you can do a lot. One of the things being the management aspect, another one being the admin, and then one being the big one in our case is the ability to purchase through any of the distributors, specifically Tech Data, for example. You can restrict who has access not only to Cloud Console, so someone can have access to the day-to-day software, but guess what? They're not part of our CSP business practice, so we don't allow them access. So we can say no access at all. Secondly, if we just want them the ability to get in there, manage, we have the option to do that. Admins obviously have access to everything, and then we also have the ability to disallow access to the purchase options.
Okay.
So.
All right, thanks. Does anyone have any more questions? I don't see any more questions popping up. We'll give it a few minutes to see if there's any more questions. Oh, here's one. Are you able to restrict users from the billing side?
So, the yes, because inside of our product, the billing is actually absolutely separate from the management inside of the tool. So the invoicing and the billing is a completely separate module, but what happens is the information from Cloud Console just transfers. We've automated the transfer of the billing information to the actual billing location, and you can absolutely restrict that information from your employees if you need to.
Okay. Is there a reporting tool so that you can reconcile all of your customer software with the bill from Tech Data?
Absolutely. In fact, we take well, I will say two things here. We actually replicate most of the standard reports that Microsoft gives you. So if Microsoft gives you all of their licensing reports, we're going to give that to you right in the tool as a dashboard. So you're going to have that right whenever you click on a customer. You'll have all of that right in front of your face. You'll have pie charts over active and inactive and license types and the counts for each. And you'll have all of this information. And all of this data has the ability to be exported out as a CSV. So if at any point in time you wanted to compare that CSV that you're getting directly from Microsoft and you're billing for, you can then print that out and then compare it to the report or the invoice that you're getting from Tech Data. Second thing with that is within each company, you also have kind of it's not called a reconciliation screen, but there is an agreement billing screen, and right there it gives you in 5 columns the number of active licenses, inactive licenses, the number of assigned licenses, the number that you're billing for, and a few other pieces of information for each Microsoft license type. So in that one screen, you're able to really compare what Tech Data is sending you right on your screen to what is on the screen in Tech Data. Or if you have the paper invoice, you can compare it that way too.
Awesome. If an admin adds a new product, is there a way to send a notification to the billing team to make sure that the client gets billed for it?
Right now, no. And the main reason, Kevin, is because it's automated. So if I add that product as an admin, there's nothing to do at that point. Whenever the nightly job runs, it will update that agreement count automatically. So if they went from 12 users or seats of standard business licenses, it will automatically update them to the 16 on their monthly recurring invoice and prorate for that.
All right, great questions, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to include that in the pane. Thanks, Topher, for answering all these questions.
You're welcome. Happy to be here. Happy to answer the questions.
All right, we'll give it just about a minute to see if anyone has any more questions.
April shot one in.
Oh, I think I missed it.
She says, are there any workflows built for Cloud Console yet? April, it sounds like, and I know you're already using it, I believe, because I know you're a ConnectWise partner. Can you expand on that for me, please? What are you looking for? Because they're the proactive monitoring in which I could say, oh, an outage or a threshold or any number of things could occur. Yes, there is proactive monitoring. Now, granted, there are single scenario-based proactive monitoring. I guess I should expand on this because there are people out there that are probably like, what are they talking about? There are questions about, is there proactive monitoring of the Office 365 seats that you are selling? And there is proactive monitoring with, the ability to check for outages and connections and, if they're going to go over any number of thresholds that you put into play here. Now, that's what it's limited to. If you're looking for something a little bit more complex, I think you're going to be looking at more of a remote monitoring and management tool. Like whenever we get to Azure, we're not going to replicate what LabTech is doing, but we will have the ability to proactively monitor those single-based scenarios. And April, if you have any, you're talking to the product manager here, shoot those into Dino at ConnectWise, and I'll get those added to the enhancement forums, well, the enhancement board. You got it, April.
All right, so with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the Q&A portion. Thanks, Topher, for answering all these questions. Really good info here. Thanks, Melissa, for covering the CSP program. And thank you to all in attendance for attending our webinar today. And I think we will call that a webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thank you too, Jeremy. Take care, everyone.
Have a great day.
This concludes today's webinar. We thank you for your participation.